Hello, welcome again to Views from my shed, which actually, as you can see, is my car again. I've just been to the yard where we keep a horse. It's been raining all night, so I thought I'd go and check up on her and just make sure she's fine. Just also had a breakfast from McDonald's. Am I allowed to say McDonald's? Of course I'm allowed to say McDonald's. Saltiest burger I've ever tried. Saltiest. Just looked at the receipt and I didn't ask for a double salt McMuffin burger. So that set me up with a raging thirst for the next sort of 6 hours. So yeah, I was going to talk to you about our caravan, which if I just point over there you can just see part of it, because a lot of people maybe who know me think that I am a hoarder. I don't believe I am. I believe I'm a collector. The difference between hoarding and collecting is that I do actually choose what I save, and I like things that are from the past because there's a history in there. There's something they could have done. I mean, for example, I was going to take you into the caravan today, but I've just looked in there and there's nowhere for me to sit. And I probably couldn't do this thing with the camera because I'd be all like this while I was standing up. So I thought I'll sit in the car and talk to you about it. In the caravan there's a number of things like sewing machines, there's some old radios, and there's some push bikes, and there's a couple of outboard motors. Now I like things like that because nowadays there's a sort of inevitability, or I find there's an inevitability about things, in that today it's Thursday, it's polling day, so hopefully everyone will get to their polling stations safely and be able to do what they feel they need to do. People will then probably go home and wait for the results and complain about them. The ones that don't may well be watching Big Brother, and the ones that don't do that will probably be on Facebook or something like that, maybe even YouTube, talking to each other about things that they've probably already talked to each other about. Now that's not a criticism at all, please don't think that's a criticism, although if you do think that's criticism, fair enough. But when I look at things that are old, you don't know what their history is. Like, as I say, I've got a number of sewing machines in there. What have they sewed in their lifetime? You know, some of them are about 100 years old. Well, what have they done? Where were they working? The push bikes, where did they cycle to? What journeys did they do? Same with the radios. How many people huddled round them? Listening to what? What were they listening to? You never know. They might have been listening to Churchill's war speech things. You just don't know. Whereas nowadays there's an inevitability, isn't there? There's things that are common that most people end up doing. Maybe there were back then. I'm sure there were. Sunday nights was bath night. There's an inevitability that on a Sunday night you're going to get thrown in a tub in front of the fire. Maybe they were bored with that inevitability. But the thing about looking at the past, as far as I'm concerned, and that's why I collect things like that, is because it helps me think about what was. And as I said, today is probably the 9,817th day that I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Now I know that's my fault, totally my fault, and I know that I'm spouting on about how to make changes, and I'm the worst culprit for not making any changes. However, there's limits to what you can do, isn't there? You can't just sort of change jobs immediately. You can't just run away and live in Scotland. You can't do these things realistically, and you wouldn't want to. let's be honest, there's family, there's people that you're close to that you don't want to run away from. So yes, it's the same. I've done the same thing today that I'm going to do every other day. But if you do things the same day, just do things the same every day, you'll notice different things about them. I mean, how many times have you watched the same film and noticed different things every time? So yet again, and harping on about it, it's noticing those small things. Today there'll be some small change that I pick up on that will make things worthwhile. And usually if you go looking for those small changes, you'll find them. They'll be there, and it might be a positive change. It might be something that you think, oh yeah, that was good, I enjoyed that bit. And the same will happen day in and day out. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad a day doing everything the same all the time. Having said that, looking at collecting things and looking at history, that's more interesting. So best go to work now. Have a lovely day. Vote safely. Let's hope everyone gets to do that without any problems. Yeah, have a lovely day. Thank you.